But her problem was, she's like, I'm only in my mid-30s. I'm already feeling too tired. I can't finish the workout. If it's a 1 hour session, I have to stop at about 12 to 14 minutes because I'm gasping.
That was Dr. Roshni trying to answer just one question in this video. Why do you feel so tired? She's going to tell you about the diet changes you can make, the habits you can improve in your lifestyle, and the things you need to do to improve your sleep such that you don't feel tired anymore. You don't want to miss this.
She is a physician and anesthetist and works in operation theaters.
Okay.
So high stress environment. She's in her mid-30s, still planning her ambitious career ahead, wants to do well in, and it's, it's actually a very, I don't know if you've ever been inside the operation theater.
It's fast-paced, odd timings, a lot of...
It's a lot going on, and she was unhealthy, and that's why she came to us. So she had actually come with difficulty finishing her workouts.
Okay.
So this was at least a doctor who wasn't giving me the sort of, I'm too busy to exercise, right? She was committed to exercising. She knew that exercise is a good thing. And she was finding time for it in the middle of the busy schedule and chaos. But her problem was, she's like, I'm only in my mid-30s. I'm already feeling too tired. I can't finish the workout. I know the workout's good for me. If it's a 1 hour session, I have to stop at about 12 to 14 minutes because I'm gasping. If this is my stamina and fitness level now, what's going to happen to me when I'm 60? So she had that sort of foresight to say, this is something needs to
Something's wrong.
Yeah, something needs to be fixed. She wasn't sick with a disease or anything, but fatigue was a big problem for her. She also had a lot of anxiety. She also knew that I have a tendency to be anxious. I take everything seriously. I'm a perfectionist. I can't deal with mistakes. I worry about my cases. If there's like a woman coming in for delivery and we have to make sure that the mother and the baby are fine, she's worrying about how to make sure the delivery goes proper, because you have anesthesia risks in every surgery that's there. And then she'll be going and visiting post-op and just checking, are they in recovery, doing well? And it won't end when her shift ends, when she goes home.
I would expect that. She's carrying that back home too.
She's carrying it home. Shift should be over. Now the new people are on call. You should be able to switch off and dial off and go.
But it's not that easy.
No, it's carrying forward into her sleep. It's carrying forward into her overall recharge. And we started to show her. So my job then is to zoom out and show her that this is not unidimensional, that your workout is bad because of this. It is actually multifactorial. We need to work on your nutrition. She was protein deficient. She was very high carb. And eating what you think is light, healthy food, like the Indian light, healthy foods concept, loading with carbs before the workout, and still no energy to perform. We showed her that carrying your work stress into your bed, you're not sleeping deep. So you're actually getting very little of rejuvenation for your brain. That's making you more worked up and trigger prone the next day, like anxious, on the edge. And problem solving actually becomes worse when you've not slept well.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. And now she's more anxious because she can tell that she's vulnerable to make mistakes. And it becomes a vicious sort of a situation. So we had to show her this. And it's very difficult for a doctor to be shown how they're making their own health worse.
Yeah, because you can't take a break. It's like fixing the airplane while it's flying.
It's flying. How do you take sick leave?
Yeah, you can't.
No, and she's not sick also.
Correct.
No, there's no disease. She's not typhoid or a fracture. It's just like actually there's a little bit of mental health situation going on, which is so taboo to say.
So how did she react when you showed her the bigger picture?
You have to do that slowly and carefully. We did not push the mental health thing on her first.
Okay.
You have to sort of pace how your client is doing. Some people have told me upfront in call one, I know I'm a worry bag of worries, and I want to work with your therapist as a high priority.
Okay.
Small percentage. In this lady's case, I could see clear imbalance where if we helped her with the nutrition, for example, we told her that, look, you're taking 2 bowls of upma in the morning for loading for your workouts, and there's no protein whatsoever. You're having an energy crash. Let's help you with more protein. And she was an eggetarian, so we said, can you do eggs along with this and cut? What I do is I don't take food away. So that's like another loss aversion personality all humans have, is we're very loss averse.
Yeah.
It's like an economics or a sort of behavioral psychology thing.
We hate losing much more than we like winning.
Exactly. We're very loss averse. So you taking my carbs away is going to hit me more than the fact that you're giving me. So we first give first. Like eat more of this, eat more of this. What are your favorite this? And then if you're hungry, you see how much carbs you want. So we're leaving the choice with her. Nudging them to say, you're definitely double of what we would call as a low carb approach. So it's okay if you want to reduce your carbs. And anyway, the carbs are not giving you the energy you wanted from your workout. So she was okay. She started that. And the beauty of the human body is that when you start fixing, let's say, nutrition for energy levels, without realizing it, sleep starts to get better, energy starts to get better, mood starts to get better. And they're coming into the session the next time more optimistic, and they also don't know why.
It just somehow seems to work.
There's a body wisdom that we haven't been able to bottle.
But okay, let's take a step back. Usually in cases like this, the person doesn't think, oh, I'm tired, let me go meet a specialist. I think there's a series of steps, right? I mean,
Yeah.
usually you would be not the last, but closer to the end list of considerations
Yes.
that someone would take. I think a lot of steps they would try before that. I know people who take coffee, eat sugar, for example. Why don't some of those interventions work? What is that? Why do those fall short?
Again, this is like giving a paracetamol for a fever. It's an acute treatment for a chronic problem, right? The coffee or the sugar or one workout or a Red Bull or some caffeine, right, will sort of give you a temporary kick. And dopamine, right? So if I give you the chemistry of this, it's a dopamine kick that will make you forget that you're actually fatigued or tired.
Oh, it sounds like a distraction.
Yes, in hospitals, you end up doing a lot of group things. So some birthday, some samosa will come, some wafers will come. You're in and out. So we don't have vending machines that much in hospitals the way the West has, but you have your vada pav stall down. You have, and again, what is the food in our hospitals for our staff? It's all again cheap, no? Because the caterer needs to make the profit. Carbohydrates are the cheapest thing to serve. So then she's doing some quick pit stop at the lunch, which is either canteen or fast food. And maybe if she carries from home, it's going to be 2 to 3 chapatis. You know, again, carbs, powdered carbs. And when you see the amount of sabji that Indians eat, I always wondered why sabji is so spicy in India. Because I'm not accustomed to so much of spice. And I realized that I'm finding it spicy because I'm eating it with a spoon.
Yeah.
I'm not using the carrier spoon of roti and rice as the dilution factor. And this I realized it how I didn't understand. The patient tells me, if the sabji is tasty, then I eat more rotis. I'm like, eh? Sabji is tasty. What does that have to do with the rotis? But it's the edible spoon. So more sabji, more roti. So basically, so her quantity of sabji is tiny in comparison to the 2x, 3x grain, powdered grain that she's having. And then at night, it'll be a one dish meal, which, you know, India, we do this, right? It'll be like we call it Mexican or we call it some Italian. It'll be a pizza or a pasta or an enchilada or some variety that we like to have in the night. And unfortunately, again, it's, if you see, like, so she was touching about 250 to 300 grams of carb a day, almost about 100 grams of carb 3 times a day.
And virtually nothing on the protein front.
About
Some
12
fat.
to 15 grams of protein a day. And the fat that she was taking was reused frying oils in the
cooking
cavity.
oils.
You know? Yeah, the inflammatory oils.
And what was the switch?
Again, she worked with us, so she started driving this. We again show them the list. These are protein sources, these are carb sources. Push this up, and then based on your hunger and fullness,
Push that down.
you could do this down because we think this is causing a lot of your symptoms. So she played with that, and by the end, she had outgrown her need for carb at all. So she's like, now people laugh at me. I don't need roti and rice with my meals, which is like a very non-Indian thing to do.
Isn't it something we've been used? Isn't that an ancestral thing we've been doing? Shouldn't our bodies have been used to roti and rice? I mean, what I'm asking is the problem with the wheat that's changed? What's gone wrong? Shouldn't we have been used to this? Or
Yeah, I mean, my dada, he used to eat 2 khakras and milk for his dinner, and he used to eat rotis and theplas in the morning and in the afternoon. So he was eating his powdered wheat. He had diabetes, yes, but if we really talk about ancestors,
they moved a lot.
they moved a lot. They did not have these lifestyles. They did not have things at the fingertips. They made their own chutneys. They washed their own clothes.
हम नहीं करते.
No, they did not have a vehicle. They did not have a two-wheeler also. If it was a bicycle or it was walking. So in that context, and they did not have these high-speed cooking techniques also. So if they had to make like handwo, right? I'm a Gujarati and I love handwo. They had to dig a hole in the ground and put the baking dish inside and cover it with bricks and things and keep it hot overnight to create a baking environment. So there was more complexity in that food. It wasn't so easy to cook where you just microwave it and it melts in your mouth. If you really want to, then you should read your spiritual books twice a day. You should do diya twice a day. You should walk and do yoga also twice a day. You should go to bed. You should do chovyar and like stop food by sunset. That's overnight intermittent
Then
fast.
talk about
and then talk
ancestors.
about ancestors. Don't use any gadgets for any of your kitchen work. Don't wash your clothes with your staff and servants and machines. Do it yourself and then tell me about your ancestors. Have you lived one day in your life like that?
The khana kyun?
Yeah.
Why are you picking and choosing this one thing?
Picking and choosing what you want to be like of your ancestors. And we don't have bragging rights.
You're talking about the before and the after.
Her diet.
What does the after look like?
The after is she's got a protein-based breakfast. So she does about 3 to 4 eggs now with cheese in the morning.
Nice.
And she does, she carries her either a big bean kind of a salad to the office, to the hospital, or if she's not able to, she's kept protein shake in the locker.
Okay.
Because she does it in and out of OT. So she's kept the protein shake there, she's kept a shaker glass there, the staff kind of knows, so she's found some little setting with the people that I need that thing, so you wash it and keep it and all that. In India, you have these luxuries, right? You can make relationships in your staff and they'll help you out. And protein shake, maybe 1 to 1.5 scoops. So we're trying to get her to about 30 to 35 grams of protein 2 to 3 times a day. I mean, not 2, 3 times a day. And then once she got 35, because based on her body weight, that's the calculation we gave her, she was so full. She used to suffer from 4 p.m., 5 p.m. That's when the monster comes out and all the cravings and hunger pangs come out. That's gone because she's not started with high carb and energy slump. So what happens is the energy slump that comes, that food coma, high insulin, energy is not available, you're tired, you're going to hit cravings at 4 p.m. So when you reduce the carb load on the morning, the insulin load is less in the morning, protein is there, leptin satiety signal is there, enough food is available, your urge for snacking at 4 p.m., 5 p.m. is gone. You know, today you and I right now, we've worked through 4 p.m., 5 p.m.
You're not hungry?
No.
Yeah.
And dinner, then she again protein focus over there.
And what is a good protein to have at dinner?
Nothing like that. Again, we show you the list.
Protein is protein.
Protein is protein. Animal protein, if you will be willing for it, will be higher quality protein from a completeness, like how many amino acids are there. Complete proteins come from animal sources. There is a little bit of complete protein in plant-based also, but it's harder. It's just harder. So you have to be more deliberate. As a vegetarian, I think you have to be more deliberate.
The number one complaint that I normally hear is, "Itna protein digest nahi hota."
Oh, yes. Yes, I've had people walk in saying, I know your reputation. I know you make everybody go on a high protein. That's another thing that pisses me off, is you are malnourished. You're like, you've gone below the, you're completely underground.
और आप मेरा complain कर रहे हो.
You're not even complain. I'm like, you're not even doing the math.
Yeah.
You're not even counting. Put a number line. This is normal. This is high. You're on that edge. You're like off the edge of low protein. So I'm trying to bring you to normal, sufficient protein. This is higher than that. But that doesn't make this high protein. High protein is a number. Above 1.6 to 2 grams per day per kg body weight can be considered high. There are people doing well even there. The kidney damage that has been described, in India, we've spread this rumor very effectively. I don't want my kidney to get damaged. I don't want my uric acid to go high. I don't digest protein. Like, you're just jumbling yourself up. So we have to, actually, a lot of my work is to remove protein myths and phobias. And they come in with this, ki digest nahi hota. So I'm like, define that. What do you mean by digest nahi hota? I get gas. Oh, nahi, heavy feel hota hai. I was like, do you know that might just be what satiety is supposed to feel like? Fullness? Because you're calling heavy. I'm like, what do you mean by heavy? I'm feeling full. Like, isn't that what you want, instead of being hungry all the time and craving food all the time? But this concept they don't understand, because when you've been eating only carbs all day, you feel like you can eat anytime food comes in front of you. I'm never full.
It's a new feeling.
It's a new feeling.
It's the alienness that's worrying them, and not lack of digestion.
Yes. And I have to tell you, I discovered this by accident. This was not something that I even picked up from a book.
Okay, tell me.
I was on holiday in Mombasa with friends and family. And I was not making eggs in my Bombay life in the house for breakfast. But when you're in a hotel, you're like, let's have eggs. So was having eggs for breakfast and noticed that when I was having, because they were making very nice omelette and all, so I was by then a little carb aware. So I said, I'll do 2 or 3 eggs, lots of butter, and 1 piece of toast.
Okay.
And I noticed that my hunger at lunch and 4 p.m. was completely absent, in spite of out on the beach, swimming. Mombasa is like really lovely beachfront and all. I'm like, where's my hunger gone? I'm like, it's the eggs or what? So I physically put 2 and 2 together, that this is what satiety from protein feels like. I had not experienced, nobody told me this.
And let's say optimize for sleep. Is that enough?
To do what? To build a tolerance for your...
To push my body from the state it is today to a healthier state, or closer towards the idea of wellness.
Yeah, so I talk about 4 wheels of the lifestyle car. So I talk about nutrition and sleep first.
That's the protein and the sleep piece.
Yeah, because most people are tired. Most people don't have energy. If I fix nutrition and sleep first, they are well fed and they are well rested, they come to their life the next day more ready to talk about stress and exercise. The other two.
That's the agenda piece too.
Yes. So let's help them. And usually when you talk to people about what do you want to talk about first, they usually pick food. It's the most obvious and easy thing. So then, well, I'm okay with that. So let's fix nutrition first. And sleep, fine, as they can invest in better quality sleep. And again, fixing nutrition helps sleep. Fixing sleep helps you make better choices in nutrition the next day. Everything is connected to everything. And all, we can crisscross everything with everything. So fixing nutrition and sleep starts to show tremendous improvement in energy. Our doctor who had perfectionism, she used to carry home the stress of the patient even though her shift was over. She told me in update just last week that since that day when I told you about that patient who was not doing well, I've had multiple such things, which is part and parcel of being in a high level hospital with complex cases coming, is it does happen that you have challenging patients. And I have managed to successfully support and stabilize those patients, but I've not carried it home with me. And this doctor, she did therapy, she worked on her nutrition and her sleep, and she worked on her stress. And then the whole reason why she came to us, which was her exercise, she found that she's able to complete the workout. She's not so OCD anymore about, fear of mistakes and being so controlling and rigid about life. She's like, oh, yeah. And we said, but hey, doc, you told us about acidity and constipation in call 1. What acidity and constipation? I was like, huh, it's gone? She's like, yeah, I haven't thought about it in a month.